My husband thinks he knows more than my doctor, and I'm refusing to forgive him. Plus, all updates. Hello everyone. My husband and I have been married for 4 years and together for 6, and this is the very first huge argument we've ever had. I, female 24, am currently 33 weeks pregnant with his male 31 baby. When I was 20 weeks pregnant, my doctor diagnosed me with placenta previa, which, if you don't know, is basically when the placenta for my baby is covering the opening in my cervix. They told me it would likely move as my baby grew, but it never did. So I am scheduled for a C-section in just 3 weeks. At 20 weeks, I was put on very light restrictions, but at 30, I got put on heavier restrictions, like no running, no lifting or climbing, no standing for longer than 3 hours at a time, and most importantly, no sex and no vaginal exams. Because my doctor told me that we want absolutely nothing to potentially make me bleed, which could lead to preterm birth. So I have been doing this all for 3 weeks, but it has been driving my husband fucking insane. Every single day he bothers me for sex. Every single day. Every single day I tell him I can't, and remind him of the restrictions. I don't even want to have sex anyway, my tummy is so big, and I am always exhausted. He doesn't really like those answers. Finally, he came to me and started going on about how doctors sometimes dramatize things for the sake of their careers and more money. He said they push for C-sections. I was like, okay, whatever. But I know that I have this condition. Obviously, I am going to follow the rules. He didn't take the answer, and we ended up having sex. For a few hours after, I was having really heavy bleeding and I got so scared. I was crying in the bathroom, trying to figure out what to do. I ended up calling my doctor, and she told me to come in right away. The whole car ride there, I was just sobbing, imagining that in an hour, I would be having a C-section for an only 33-week-old baby. We quickly figured out that I am not in preterm labor. I was just bleeding, and as long as it stops, it will be okay. It did, and I am fine. But while I was there, my doctor asked my husband to leave and started asking me questions. She asked me if I did anything I wasn't supposed to do. She was like, "This isn't accusatory. It's okay. It's just better to know if it was caused by something or random." I told her that I had sex. She just went over all the things again, and then gave me a bunch of information on domestic violence. She put them in my purse for me, literally. I was so embarrassed. When we got into the car, I broke down and yelled at my husband, telling him to never do that to me again, and telling him that my doctor knows more than him, and knows what is best for me and the baby. He apologized, and I could tell he really meant it. I have still been holding a grudge for days, and he's been groveling for days. He asked me how long I was going to make him apologize. I told him at least until the baby is born. AITAH for that? Update 7 hours later. I wasn't originally going to make an update just because I was getting into specific detail about my life, and I didn't want anyone I know in real life to find it. But I will, because I don't know why, actually. I guess I just got some really good comments. I posted this about 7 hours ago, and I cannot believe how many people have responded. I don't know if I could ever say thank you enough to such thoughtful strangers on the internet. So originally my plan was to tell my doctor and my SIL, maybe my brother, but I wasn't looking forward to discussing those details with him. I rescheduled my weekly appointment with my doctor for tomorrow. I know some people said I would be able to just walk in, but I didn't want to do it, and then make some excuse to my husband. The comments made me realize the severity of the situation, and honestly, I am terrified. So I called my SIL when she got off work, and we had a really long conversation. I mentioned in the comments, but my SIL and brother have never really liked my husband, especially my SIL. She was very supportive and kind, and we talked for a long time. I guess I can admit now that it wasn't just sex, it was SA. We talked about that more than anything else. And she cleared the whole confusion thing up very quickly. I told her a lot of the things my mom excused, because she likes my husband, and my SIL was livid. I guess I kind of knew she always would be, which is why I never told her. She ended up telling me to talk to my doctor, and she will talk to my brother, and we will see what's going on. She said she will come down on the soonest flight, but my brother cannot come yet because they do have children of their own. I was content with that though, and my appointment with my doctor is tomorrow. So my husband got home kind of early and saw how I was upset. I really was planning on getting myself together before he came home, but I did not have time. Still, I was not going to tell him anything, but he was being so kind, which he really usually is. I know that's hard to believe, but it's true. But today especially, he was so kind and so worried about me. I know it was stupid to explain the situation, but I did. I don't know why. I'm just used to telling him my problems, I guess. It was a mistake, and I know that. I am really trying not to be so stupid anymore, but it's hard to switch from thinking about him as my loving and caring husband to my husband who is hurting me. So I told him that, and how he hurt me, and honestly, I am scared now. He was like, "What? How?" I said by forcing me to have sex, by literally forcing my legs apart and telling me to calm down. He was like, "Oh my fucking God, don't fucking say that. That's a crime, do you understand that? Do you understand you just accused me of martial essay?" And pushed me away from him. I started to apologize, and he started to say it was okay and do that thing where he acts like I'm dumb again. So I finally yeah, actually, I really do understand that now. It isn't right, and it is martial essay. It resulted in a huge argument, once again. He called me an idiot for even daring to say those words. I called him an abuser, and he literally laughed. He was like, "Who are you talking to? You don't know what you're talking about," and started to go on and on about things I don't know about. He said sex with his wife is an essay, no matter how you split it. I ended up trying to just walk away, but he grabbed me by my wrist. I snatched my hand away, and he held up his hands, was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That might be considered battery of a pregnant woman, if we're going by your definitions." The condescending tone is what really drove me to the edge, and I told him I don't want to be around him. He was like, "Fine, I'll go." I said, "No, I want to go. I want to be away from you." He threw the credit card at me and told me to go get a hotel then. So I did. And here I am, typing this now. And my SIL is on her way right now, but I am so far from okay. He's called me several times, but I won't answer. I've never seen him that angry before. I am slightly concerned what he will do if I genuinely tell him I want to leave and take the baby. He is the one who wanted to have a child, and I was convinced. It won't let me take her easily, and that terrifies me. Every time my daughter kicks, I just want to sob. I never thought that my own baby would make me cry like this, but I am just so scared. Also, I am just now opening this PDF everyone linked, but it's already making a lot of sense. Thank you very much for that. Final update the next day. This one is quick, and for the people who wanted me to verify that I am okay, I genuinely don't know what to say about the amount of support I got. Thank you so very much. August 7th, I posted my update, and I mentioned having Braxton Hicks for the first time. I was urged to go to the hospital. I originally wasn't going to, but thank goodness that I did, because by the time I walked in the door, I was bleeding so heavily it was down my legs. Turns out I had a placental abruption. August 7th at 10:37 p.m., my daughter was born via emergency C-section. She is now only less than an old as I post this, but I am being forced to deal with an attorney, and all of this already. She was only 33 weeks and 5 days when she was born. She is tiny, but still doing relatively well, so they tell me. She is in the NICU now, and I am in the hospital still as well. I have received lots of care, and while it is all scary and hard, seeing my daughter makes it better. I'm fine. I will be fine, and so will she. The nurses here are amazing, and the doctor told me as long as everything goes well, I get to take my daughter home in just a few weeks. As for my situation, my SIL came shortly after my daughter was born, and she's been by my side all day and very supportive. The attorney advised us to allow my husband visitation with my daughter while she is still in the NICU, so I did. I do not have a concern of him hurting our daughter while in the hospital or anything like that. I have received lots of supportive messages from his co-workers and his side of the family, so I am sure he is spinning the story that we are together and everything is fine. He is trying to act like that too. He's seen our daughter several times today, and I think that he was in the hospital with me during the C-section, but I am honestly not sure. He came up to my room this morning while the nurses were helping me take that first walk after the C-section. I was just emotional enough to let him in. I have to be honest and say it wasn't easy to try and hate him after all of this. I still let him comfort me and I still cried to him. But at the end when he said, "You wouldn't have had to do this alone if you weren't acting that way," and grabbed my face to make me kiss him, it reminded me of why exactly I am doing this. So yeah, I am not so sure what I am going to do. Originally, I really wanted to have my daughter in my home state so that I could stay there with her and my SIL and brother, but I highly doubt my husband will allow me to take her there. My attorney says I have options, and the options are heavily in my favor, as I did what you all suggested and got the medical records of the essays, including the one I posted about and 2 more I went to the hospital for over the years, as well as in writing my doctor saying that my placental abruption was likely caused by trauma and stress, for custody and stuff like that, but likely only here where we currently live. Honestly, that's okay. Being able to briefly hold my baby and seeing her and loving her so much has replaced much else in my mind. I want to be safe, but I want her safe most of all. I won't do anything to put her in the situation I was in. She is only 16 hours old, and she is all I think about and will ever think about for the rest of my life. I probably won't update again, as I am hoping they will let me spend more time with my daughter soon. But I just wanted to say that this whole post literally changed my life, and I cannot say thank you enough. If anyone else finds themselves in this sort of situation, I want to say do not be scared to speak up, and if anyone has survived it, you're so brave. Thank you. 3. What do you guys think? Let's discuss in the comments. Follow for more stories.